What's up, world, digital world? I'm with you again with another impromptu marketing live conversation with Jelena, the first person I've ever met who is a social media fairy. So, welcome and thank you for coming on.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity to do a live session with you.
So, if
I'm
you don't, I'm sorry, go ahead.
yeah, I just want to say like quickly a few words about me. So I'm coming from Belgrade, Serbia, and I'm social media fairy.
What is a social media fairy? Like, how did you come up with that?
Oh, well, I was in marketing since always. So firstly, I was in classical marketing when I finished my studies. And then like when things went digital, I went digital also. And first I was working in a few companies, and then I decided to open my to start my own business actually. And I wanted to focus on social media because actually that space of social media for me is really interesting because everything is changing all the time. So in order to stay at the top, you have to learn all the time. And I like that dynamic things. I don't like those jobs that you know everything and then you don't have anything to learn anymore. Like so I decided to focus on social media, and because I really like fairy tales and fairies and mermaids and unicorns, so I was like, okay, I can be a social media fairy.
Bring on the magic powers and the pixie dust, 100%. So I know recently we were just talking before we went live that you've been on a 24-hour plus quarantine. Tell me about that. What's going on over there?
Well, here actually we don't have a lot of ill people,
Hmm.
so it's around thousand something. I'm not sure about exact number, honestly. But the thing is that Serbia is a really small country, and we don't have enough hospitals. And basically, you have Belgrade, that is a town, and you have one more town, and all other towns are more like villages. So our government is more afraid that if we get a lot of ill people, that we won't be able, like that we don't have space where to treat them.
Hmm.
So they put it kind of right away, the quarantine, when everything started.
Hmm.
And now we like daily we can go out till 5 p.m., but they are not recommending that. And after from 5 p.m. till 5 a.m. every day we have curfew, so you can't go out at all. And all the people that are older than 65, they can't go out at all, except Sunday from 4 a.m. till 8 a.m.
Wow.
Yes. And then because last weekend there was a lot of gatherings outside because the weather is nice, and a lot of people are going outside to uh, take their kids out or dogs or something like that, and then they're gathering together like groups from like around 20 people,
Hmm.
and that's not kind of safe, so you have
Right.
to
Yeah.
distance and everything. So because of that, our government decided to put this weekend to put like quarantine 24 hours. Actually, it's more than 24 hours since like from Saturday at 1 p.m. till Monday 5 a.m.
Wow. So did a lot of people get upset about that, or they pretty much understand that the stakes are really high right now and they're kind of complying?
Well, I don't know honestly, like because I think that like around 90% of population is respecting the quarantine, but you always have that like 5-10% that will be like, I don't care, I will go out. We even here had like they arrested a few people because they went out in a curfew. They were
Hmm.
like, who cares, I will go out anyways. We even had that situations. So I don't know honestly. I'm not smart. I think that people are kind of upset because our president said that he will maybe put like a 24-hour quarantine all the time in order that no one can go out at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
So but I don't think that he will do that because if he does that for 2 weeks like and put maybe like hour a week that people can go out and do the shopping, then it will be just crowded. So I don't know honestly.
I was gonna pull this up really quick. But I
Mhm.
think it's very interesting how people even now are still not taking this seriously. I saw this and it was just interesting
Mhm.
to just see now everything's empty,
Yeah.
and it's a little eerie. A little bit. It's a little bit eerie. Are you more of an extrovert introvert where you're okay with kind of being at home? Do you wish you can be outside with people and exercise and all that? Like, where's your perspective on that?
Well, honestly, I miss my friends because like I'm not seeing anyone because we are kind of in different areas of the city.
I can't hear
So in
you.
that terms, I would like to
Oh, there we go.
see my friends all together, which is
Mhm,
kind of impossible now because gatherings are forbidden for more than I think 2 or 3 persons, something like that now.
mhm.
Uh, when it comes to my work, I work from home anyways, so I don't have a problem with that. Uh, and I live alone, but I live in the same building with my parents. So
Mhm.
basically, I'm not alone. But I know that for some people who are living alone and who that don't have pets or anything can be kind of difficult, or for families that are like 5 people in 50 square meters apartments. So it can be kind of stressful. I still work out at my home. It's not ideal. I like going to
Right,
the
right.
gym. I work with what I have. So, and what is the
So
situation over there?
So right now, so all the different states, United States, are doing a little bit something a little bit different. Illinois has been one of the early ones to kind of shut us down, going from schools to going from 50 people to 10 people. Now it's like stay home indefinitely. They're already in the talks of just telling us to not even go to the grocery stores and the pharmacy, get what you can, and just stay inside. Now with everything talking about it could be airborne, and the conversation of people should have had masks, don't worry about it. Now we need to have masks, and everyone's all paranoid. We still have people who are going out to exercise, which is fine. But I think I forgot what location, but it was I think a few days ago. It was such a nice day. It was like in the 60s, sun was shining, and people just showed up at the beach, and it's just like, no, let's not do that. So it's definitely been a weird adjustment. I'm used to working from home. As you know, we're digital nomads, so I've been creating more content I've ever been. I'm in this bubble right now, just ready to go. But I know a lot of people are transitioning. I've seen, and you can talk about this too. I've seen a lot of marketers and digital influencers kind of pivot and focus a lot of their content on COVID-19. Um, Hacks to work from home, how to market during COVID-19. I feel like my concern is they're making the niche so small and that they're kind of feeding into like the fear and the anxiety, or maybe taking advantage of the situation. I'm not saying don't sell, don't market. I'm not saying that. But it just seems like all we're doing is COVID, COVID, COVID. I'm like, can't we kind of like market in a different way? Have you been seeing that over there? Like an oversaturation of marketers just kind of like do this for COVID-19 and blah, blah, blah. It's just like, whoa, it's too much.
Well, honestly, I'm more upset about what I'm seeing, what kind of content I'm seeing is like now is the time to get your perfect body shape because you have time, you're at home, or to read or to do something. And I'm like,
Right.
you're just overstressing people because then you're putting like high expectations, and people are like, I have to be productive. And then they feel guilty if they are not productive enough.
Right.
So I have seen that kind of content a lot on the internet nowadays. And yes, I think that people are talking about COVID too much, and they don't have a background for that. Actually, I don't like when people are just saying something because they heard that somewhere, and then they're kind of spreading false informations. It was
Right.
the same with some medicine that it's kind of it was about some medicine. I can't remember which one, but it kind
Hmm.
of make worse, or that you can get kind of COVID if you drink that medicine. It was some story like that, and I saw that on some big news on Instagram. I can't remember which one, but it doesn't matter anyway. So, and I remember I asked my friend, he's a doctor, and he
Uh-huh.
was like, no. And he sent me even a link, like from World Health Organization, that that information is false, but
Wow.
still they were spreading it. So I'm like, if you don't have proper information that you are 100% sure that they are true, then don't say anything. It's better. Like, I think that every situation you can use some benefits from it, but you have to be smart how to use it.
Yeah. I've been seeing, people kind of shift their Instagram ads and Twitter ads, and some were really great. Some were very cringy, where it's like, ooh, it's on that teeter of like really false information, or if you buy this, you're going to be safe. In reality, you're not. So I'm definitely not opposing companies and brands to do that. What I am curious about, I've been discussing with a lot of business people, a lot of marketers right now about discounting their services to help businesses during this period. And I won't say my argument, but my take on it is yes, if you have the capital and you can help people out for free or at a discounted rate, by all means do it. We have both have talents and skills and gifts that a lot of businesses and personal brands and people in general would need and appreciate during this time. But if we can't make money, that means I can't allocate time to help other people at maybe a cheaper rate or a free rate. Like, where's your stance on that as far as like with your clients and people that you're working with?
Honestly, I don't. I hate discounts, and I don't like them. I never like. I never like the sale things and like discount and everything, and I never suggest anyone to do that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, there are some days when you should have discount, but I'm always like, say it some other way. Don't say like discount or sale. Just like try to put it to pack it somehow.
Yeah.
And when it comes to me and my clients, I honestly, I would rather give something for free instead of something like that it's underpaid, like or I'm
Interesting.
more like, I will give you a free consultation if you need it. I always like to help, honestly, and I have a
Yeah,
huge problem with that in my life
I do too.
because people like to take advantage of it, and then they don't know where to stop, you know.
That's me.
I'm always like, I can help you. I won't give you like discount or something like that. You can have this and this and this. I will give you those informations for free.
Hmm.
So I'm more like that honestly.
I'm always curious, and I've seen some people who've done this very well, who have, you know, made an impact. And I'm not questioning people's integrity or people's intent with branding themselves, marketing themselves during COVID-19, and really tying in those language points to speak to someone's emotion. As long as you're not kind of forcing fear and anxiety or almost taking advantage of them during this period. I've worked with some brands who right now, we're living in the gig economy where a lot of people who aren't as digital as we are have lost their jobs, they're unemployed, they're losing business. And, it's funny where they'll kind of be like, well, Troy, I can't switch to digital. I've been in the game too long. I don't know how. And I'll always just say that, either you're going to wait it out or you're going to pivot. And I think right now we've been almost a month plus in, depending on where you are, 2 months in, where okay, this isn't going away anytime soon, and we got to either make an
From
adjustment or just sit around. Like, what's your take on helping businesses transition to digital, and how are you helping them? How are you communicating that with them?
well, honestly, for a few people, I already help like for free because they had here it's a problem because as I said before, like businesses, it's not people don't have that awareness about digital marketing.
Right.
It's a small country and it's, I can say it's a poor country, honestly. When you compare it to US, it is. And people don't have that awareness about digital marketing, and they're more like, oh, it's something that it's simple. I will do that by myself. or I don't want to invest money on that, or they don't have money to invest in that and they have no clue how to do it. And
Yeah.
they're just starting. And then, like, in this situation, a lot of businesses that are small, like basically homemade businesses, they don't have any ways to sell in this
Right.
situation, and they are not online. So some people, like when this all started with quarantine, my phone was ringing all the time, honestly, because the people were calling me and they were like, I don't know what to do.
Mm.
So yeah, I already helped a few people with some advices. Honestly, this is the first time in my life to be in this situation too.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of like when someone asks you how to switch to digital, it's not something that you can do overnight. It's something
Right.
that you need time to do it. So now, like, I'm always thinking how you can do that as fast as you can to catch some opportunity to sell anything online if people don't know you already online. And next week I will be also doing some live in some group. It's a Serbian group for entrepreneurs,
Ooh.
just about this topic, like how people can faster switch online. And basically I will be giving them like I'm working on some workbook. So I will do kind of workbook for marketing strategy, and I won't be giving that for free, but I will be giving that for like $5 or $10. That's like really cheap, and I think that anyone can afford it.
Hmm.
Just like with questions, basically, that you can fill it and have a marketing strategy.
Yeah.
So
One thing I would like to ask you about, what you hinted at before we got on live, was that, to get international clients. So you're from Belgrade, and I believe you have clients in New York, possibly Chicago, and other places in the States. A, how did you get them? And right now, how are you maintaining those relationships?
well, honestly, like that was kind of uh, accidentally. I don't know how to say that
You're
otherwise.
skilled. You're skilled.
Yeah, well, when I started, because I was overwhelmed. I was working in one agency and I was working from 9 to a.m. till 11 p.m. I was doing the
Wow.
whole marketing, like from PR to digital marketing.
Ooh.
And I was sick and tired. I was like, I can't work whole day for someone else's dream. I want to work on mine. And I always wanted to have my own business. So I was like, I will start. I didn't have any, I started from zero. And literally in that moment when I started, I had maybe 500 euros on my bank account, something like that. So basically nothing. And at that point, what was the name? It was Elance, and after that was I can't remember the name. It's a online platform. Uh,
Mm, it's
it was
okay.
Elance, but after that they changed the name to Work something. But I
Hmm.
can't remember. The logo was green one,
Hmm.
and I made a profile on that platform and I started searching for clients. I didn't have at that point, like I didn't have my Instagram, my Facebook, my website, nothing. So that came up later. And I just like made my profile and I was searching for various jobs. And actually the first clients that I got were from UK and US. And after that, more or less, like after that, one of my friends, he opened with a partner digital company in New York, and they needed help with social media. So I'm still outsourcing their clients for social media, and most of the clients from US after that I got them on recommendation.
Was it from people that you knew, like friends of
For, from
LinkedIn, or
people
just companies?
from people that I was working with,
Got you.
actually, because I work with small and medium businesses and like influencers also, like personal brands. I
Mhm.
don't work with. I have that one company that I do outsourcing for them,
Mhm.
but it's just outsourcing and basically like consultations about social media. So basically, I'm managing their team for social media, kind of.
Wow.
So
That's amazing. Like, do you find that I know you may not think this right now, but do you find that people when they hear your story and see what you're doing, like you're very inspiring?
Well, yes, actually, people are surprised. They're always like, "But how you manage to find like clients from US?" And because like my job is online, so basically my communication with them is online through Zoom or Slack. It depends.
Mhm.
And but the only problem can be like time difference,
Sure, yeah.
but it's not such a huge time difference. And honestly, I prefer working later than getting
Mhm.
up early. Honestly, I don't like getting up so early. So for me, that's perfect. You know, it can be hard because like some time I spent, for example, in India and Thailand, and then like when I'm there, the time difference is huge.
Oh
I'm trying
yeah.
to find this app uh, to tell you what's the name. It's actually Upwork.
Upwork.
I couldn't
Oh,
remember.
I could have told you that. I didn't connect all the dots.
Yeah, because before it was Upwork, it was Elance.
I did not know that.
But that was ages ago. But when I joined it, it was Upwork. I'm not that
Mhm.
old. I'm still
Well, you
young.
just recently celebrated a birthday, so happy belated birthday to you.
No, no, no. My birthday will be in April.
Oh, well, I totally messed that up then. That's what I get for analyzing the wrong thing. I apologize.
Maybe if you saw that picture on Instagram with the balloons, that one.
Maybe that's why. See, it's false reality.
Birthday. So I put it some one post with some balloons. Happy birthday for me.
Just failing live, y'all. Failing at live. It's okay. I'll keep it moving. Um, I was thinking about well, what tips? Actually, let's stay on Upwork for a minute because a lot of marketers who maybe were used to working for an agency or a business now they're shifting into like the freelance economy and really trying to get that out there. What tips would you give a fellow marketer who's trying to get business through Upwork?
Well, honestly, apply for everything that you know how to do,
Hmm.
because you can't expect anywhere, like even like on social media, you can't expect that people will just find you. It doesn't matter how good you are. You have to say hi, and like you have to apply to give them something. Sorry, my laptop is kind of battery, it's going. So uh, the best advice that I can give them is to apply for as many jobs as they can. I went out of Upwork like, I think that it's been like 4 years now, 3 or 4. I'm not sure honestly.
Hmm.
So I don't know what is the situation there now and how it's going. But
Sure.
I got my first client in like first month, but I was sending like around 20 applications per day, something
Hmm.
like that. So I was really working on getting a clients.
Is it, I have some people who their perspective is I want to filter to the right client. I want to have a certain price point. I want to do this own thing. Do you find that it's easier to just kind of be a jack of all trades, so to speak, approach? And just once you get them, you can kind of grow that relationship and get more money and more finances out of them, or be very patient and find that right client for you?
Well, it depends. Do you have bills and do you have someone to feed or not? So sometimes you can give yourself that time and space to find the right client. But if you have like bills or kids or anything, then you need money. So I think that it depends from that.
Have you been finding success in Facebook groups or LinkedIn groups? Like what's your approach to kind of maintain community and what's going on in the trends?
Well, honestly, like I don't use LinkedIn for my own brand that much.
Uh-huh.
LinkedIn I mostly use for my clients, but for companies, and I always use like business pages and ads.
Mhm.
So I don't know much about LinkedIn groups, honestly. When it comes to Facebook groups, I think that they are a good place to find clients, because
I
people are
go
more
ahead.
open in groups,
Hmm.
and they will more likely start a conversation with you.
It's very true. I was I don't know if you remember back in the day where it was really popular to like on these random pages. And that was like maybe 5 or 6 years ago in Facebook. And then now all those pages have kind of converted to where people they'll have like millions and millions of followers or millions of people on the pages. They'll switch them to like business accounts. So I've seen agencies who bought a meme page and converted it to their brand. And now they're bragging about all these followers and people that they have. And then I'm looking at it, I'm like, that's not true. Like how do you I don't know if you experienced it, but have you came across a personal brand or a company or just someone you work with or colleague even who's like, I want to look big on social quickly, like should I buy followers, should I do this, should I do that, like what do you tell them?
Well, usually, like, people when they start from zero, they're like, okay, but maybe I should buy at least like 1,000 followers so that uh, people can see something. And honestly, I'm always saying, don't do that. I don't like that. Even what you said, like converting, because I think that the main point is to reach your target audience. So you have to know who is your target audience. And I always tell them, like, if you have, I lost you.
No, I was just showing you
Ah.
main screen, I'm sorry. I'm still here.
In 1 second, I was like, where are you?
I was going for the more dramatic feel, but go ahead, please continue.
Ah, okay, sorry. So I always tell them, like, if you have 1 trillion followers, but they don't engage with your whatever with your content, whatever you want to show on Instagram, and you don't have any buyers from them, like, why do you need numbers?
It's true. That's so
And
true.
I always say your followers are not numbers; they are people that you have to have any connection with that. So
Preach.
it's the same like customers when they come to your shop.
Right.
Like, if you don't look at them at all, and if they ask you, you're just like, huh? Then, like, they won't buy anything from your shop. And it's the same online. Just you have opportunity to have like 1,000 buyers at one time. So
Yeah, I was laughing. I was talking with two friends of mine who, and I have to remember, we both live in this world, this digital world. So we're already in the know constantly. And I've been finding myself having to explain to a lot of people how to Zoom work, how to Slack work, how to Hangouts work, even how to use the Facebook video feature in Messenger and things like that. And it's like, wait, you didn't know this? Wait, you've never heard of this? Like, oh my God. And I have to like recognize that a good 40% of people haven't had to pivot to digital techniques and communication. I just got my parents to do Zoom call with me and it changed everything. They loved it. They're like, I'm going to do video calls with you only. I don't know why I haven't. I'm like, I've been trying to get you all to do video calls for years. And now we're just like, let's do this. And it was like, oh, this is so great. Like, have you had any funny stories helping people kind of get situated on digital platforms or technologies?
well, honestly, I have other problems because I'm in digital marketing, and people often think that I know everything when it comes to computers and the internet. And then they are asking my friends. Usually, they ask me some crazy things, and I'm like, but I don't know how to do that. Like, and they're calling me like, can you download me the? And that is the funny thing, because like I'm really selective,
Hmm.
and like I'm really good with some things that I'm interested in, but with some other things I just don't care about them. So, for example, I don't know how to download the movie from torrent. I don't
Hmm.
know how, like, all the movies. Yeah, I watch Netflix or I watch them online. So
Yeah.
that's my knowledge. And when they ask me like how to do some simple things like that, I'm like, I don't know. It's not part of my job. So I have those kind of problems. But when it comes to uh, using some features of Facebook and Instagram, I don't know. Yes, people often call me, my friends, and ask me for that, but I understand that they don't know that because they are not interested. So
Yeah.
yeah, I have that luck that my parents that they are using everything online. So yeah.
I was thinking about when this before this really started, a lot of people still didn't give credit to content creators or YouTubers, people who are making money online, creating content, everything else. And now everyone's like, oh, that is a valid profession now. I want to be a part of it. And now all these people are trying to get involved. You're seeing a lot of people who did celebrities doing their music tours are canceled. And obviously sports is a big one for me. So I feel lost right now not having sports. And so all these individuals don't know what to do with their lives. And now they're on live and they're doing private concerts or private Q&As. And now you're seeing just an influx of stuff. Do you feel like right now we're so oversaturated and you can choose from so many different things that people who were really big on social may not get as much traffic anymore?
Well, I don't know what, like from my experience and with my clients, the organic reach raised, honestly.
Yeah.
And also noticed that for ads, the pay per click, it's kind of dropping.
Yeah, totally.
And especially in US, it's it's much bigger difference in US than here because here click is like really cheap. It still goes like yeah, but the difference is huge. Here the click goes till like 10 cents. That is the maximum.
What? Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
It's super cheap to do commercials on social media. It's
Wow.
yeah.
I need to market it
But,
over there.
well, I saw a lot of, well, I don't know, like they're coming. I see those ads, a lot of like entrepreneurs from US. I see their ads. I don't know, are they targeting Serbia or maybe I'm in some other group that they are targeting.
Mhm.
I don't know. Mm, what we were talking about, sorry.
I
Yeah,
totally
about
spaced out.
the reach and the live. I think that people are confused now, honestly, because I think that we are giving them too much of content online, and everyone is online now, and everyone is trying to work online. The people who lost their jobs, they are trying to come up with some ways how to work online. And I know when I come to my Instagram, for example, or any of my clients' Instagram, I see like first I see like 10 lives, and then I can see stories, and I'm like, what are you doing? So I think that that people maybe in the beginning it will be good, but for later on, I think that they will just be overwhelmed with that
Mhm.
amount of online content. I don't know, honestly.
I think it's gonna take a dip. I think people are doing right now because they're bored and is getting whatever. But I think unfortunately, I think President Trump recently said that it's going to get worse before it gets better, and we're all kind of seeing that, And I think with the changes, people's morale and emotional ness to everything, and as a financial strain or pain or struggle for those who maybe aren't experiencing it or who are grows, more people I think are going to be not as online to make business. They may just be online to just get sympathy, to get that emotional connection. And then we're still gonna think we're gonna be oversaturated with so much content now that it's just like, all right, I need to turn it off. I need a minute to just kind of breathe and figure out what's going on in my life. I find that it's gonna be right now. I think it's even more challenging for content creators. Like, and I know your take on this will be a little about the same, but right now with everyone's creating content, this is the time to create content. This is the time to do, like you said, this is the time to work out. This is the time to do podcasts and videos and blah blah blah. And I'm not saying that's not wrong, but I am saying, like, if you're not creating or doing this with an intent, if you're not in freelance and you're trying to create content to get new clients, cool, do that with intent. If you're trying to do that to drive people to your business, to keep it afloat, do that. If you're trying to keep your community engaged, that in hopefully the next 30 days they're going to be buying from you again, do that. But don't just create just to create without some type of purpose, because really you're not wasting your time, but you're still kind of wasting your time, because now you went from not doing anything to just creating content. But yeah, you and everybody in America, everybody in the world, everybody in Serbia is doing the same thing.
Yeah, more or
You
less.
should have been doing this ahead of time, not now, while everyone's doing it too. So
Yeah, well, I'm more like, if you want to create something, create you. I like creativity without purpose,
mhm,
honestly. But you don't have to put that online. You can sit and
that's true.
write a book, or like do something for your soul. I'm honestly more afraid about like what mentally will happen with people when they're
Mm,
closed and after
mhm,
this situation, because I don't think that, I don't know what is the situation here, there, sorry, at Chicago, but I'm afraid that maybe like violence will grow up, especially like
mhm,
home violence and
yeah,
things like that, maybe robberies. I don't think that it will be good in those terms.
and
I'm more about mental health of the people who are staying at home.
I agree with that. I definitely think, especially here, I talked to a colleague who brought up that point about people who are dealing with domestic violence or domestic abuse. Now you're in that home, constrained with that individual, they're at higher risk. And when they told me that, and really thought, like, wow, that is scary. And especially those who have dealing with mental health and trying to keep that afloat. There's a lot going on with that too. What do you think? A lot of people are trying to say I waited out and go back to normal. I don't think that's the case. What does new normal look like to you?
To me personally,
Yes.
well, I think that my new normal will be normal, honestly. Well, honestly, I was joking when the quarantine started. I was like, now I realize that my life is not so much different than quarantine. But for sure, maybe I will appreciate more those little things in order, like outside walks and like hanging out with friends. And I already appreciate those things and I like enjoying in those small moments, but maybe I will appreciate it more. When it comes to business, for now I'm happy how this is going. I can't complain. I just like when it comes those to content, I'm just hoping that other people won't get overwhelmed with content online and social media content generally.
Yeah.
That
I was
is what concerns me, honestly. And maybe I think that more like psychotherapists should go online. That wouldn't
totally.
be bad.
There's a
Because
big opportunity.
yes, because you have a lot of people who are talking about mental health, but they're not educated to talk about that.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure how that can benefit to some common person. So maybe some people who are educated for that should go more online in this situation.
Yeah. Can you talk about real quickly on, since you've done both sides of it, is marketing language internationally versus just America? Is it similar? Is it totally different? Is it more visual? Is it more about the text? What is that experience is like, the difference from your perspective?
Well, sorry, it's not corona. I'm a smoker, so from my perspective, it depends mostly on the culture. It mostly depends what people want to see. If you think about trends, photos, videos, content, and stuff like that. So it depends who is. Again, we go back to target audience. Depends who is your target audience, because some people are more into the nice photos. Some people like seeing videos. Some people like long captions. Some of them like shorter. But I know, for example, I was working with one client, and one of his target markets was Japan.
Mhm.
So, and for me, it was really hard to create content for them, honestly. And I had a girl who was from there who was actually reviewing all of my content, not to, so that people don't get insulted or anything.
Sure. Yeah.
And she was also translating it. So I think that it has connection with the culture too. I think that like Europe and US, you can put like kind of similar content because the trends are kind of similar.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. But still, like something that goes to US, it will come to Serbia like in a year or two or 5 or 10 or never.
I was thinking back to when I do some, excuse me, some marketing in Hong Kong and various parts within China, and how they reference, we're talking about the culture, how it's so different with versus America, where we have to be extra cautious with what visuals we use, what imagery we use. Some countries aren't as empowering to women, so if you see women in a very dominant role, they will be offended, and you're wondering why your ad dollars are doing plummeting really bad and you're not getting those connections or those clicks or views. So it definitely takes a lot of work to just understand the culture of any area, even within the states, even with Serbia. There's certain counties, certain areas where you have to be a little bit more detailed, a little bit less, have more, a little more finessing to it. When you try to do something in Texas versus Chicago versus California, it's totally different, and you have to be very aware of that with the kind of the culture, how they communicate, and where their level sensitivity of freedom of speech or how you convey those things. And I always find it challenging where sometimes you have those international agencies who have like one person in like 30 different countries will say, we are understanding how this works. And then you look at their content, it's like the exact same thing. It's just putting their person in the box and just throwing it everywhere and seeing what sticks. And I don't agree with that. I think, like you said, the approach of really understanding the culture, people will appreciate that so much more, and it'll make that deeper emotional connection.
Yeah, honestly, for me, it helped me much. Traveling helped me a lot.
Oh yeah.
Was okay, I never been to US, for example, but like most of the countries from where I had plans, I kind of already been to those countries. And when I go somewhere, I really like to see what is the culture there and how people are actually living. So I think that helped me also a lot. And what I also wanted to say, the call to action, it's also has a big difference from country to country and also from target audience, because some people like when you tell them literally what to do, and some people thinks that is too pushy. So I think that you have like so many variations. So I think that the main thing is that you have to know who is your target audience.
Totally. Do you feel that there are enough women, enough people of color, enough LGBTQIA in the marketing business right now? Do you feel like there still isn't enough representation in our kind of neck of the woods?
Well, I can't agree with for women, honestly, because I think that there is a lot of women in marketing.
I should say, are you seeing a lot more people now in leadership doing their own agencies, doing their own businesses in marketing from where you are too?
You mean here in Serbia?
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, I'm seeing a lot of people like entrepreneurs who wants to go online now, who don't have any online presence or don't have good online presence. So they're focusing more on that now.
Got it.
But when it comes to people starting their own businesses or working online, honestly, I don't have any picture about that. I haven't seen anything online about that. I don't see any new people coming through. And mostly what I saw are on groups like uh, people who are trying to find some online business because they lost their job. But most of those people that I see are not from Serbia. So I don't know how to answer your question, honestly.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't know how to give you like the proper answer because
No, whatever you feel. That's all. We're just having a conversation.
I was thinking like what people are doing here, because as I told you, like it's a small country and people don't have that awareness about digital world. So I think that most of the people who are working like in some markets or some shops, like sellers, that if and most of those people lost their jobs, that they don't know what to do, honestly.
Yeah.
So, and I feel sorry, but I don't know how to help them.
We can't help everybody, and I think I'm a 2 and 3. I'm a very empathetic person, so I think I can save everybody and just take everyone on my wing on my shoulders and just go, and I can't. But for someone who's looking to work with you, what would you tell them? Where can they connect with you? What's your pitch?
Oh, well, you can connect with me on Instagram and Facebook. I'm mostly on Instagram and Facebook, honestly. I don't produce that much content nowadays, sorry, but I have a lot of work.
I'd rather be making money and doing work than creating content all day.
Yeah,
So.
and there is my website. I'm actually updating my website. I'm working on that too. So, yeah, so they can find me on my website, Instagram, or Facebook's.
Well,
Those
cool.
are
Thank you for chatting it up with me today. I'm sure there's gonna be people who's gonna be watching this in the replay as well. I think you brought a very interesting and unique perspective that I'm very gratitude for. Sorry for the missteps. I think I had like 3 hiccups this whole conversation, but hey, it's been great, and I appreciate you for taking time to just talk with me.
Okay, thank you very much for this
Thanks.
opportunity. And I had a lovely time, honestly. And I'm happy that I brought a bit pink in your world.
Yes, yes. The more pink, the merrier. The more pink, the merrier. Thank you from the social media fairy.
See you later.